So I'm going to do that. Hello, everybody. Okay, this is kind of a test drive, but I have some foot work that you can do and stretches for your feet after those long walks. So if you have a tennis ball and or a TheraBand, that would be great. Okay. So I gave you on one of the videos, I gave you the heel lift and the ball of the foot up. This is also a very nice place to practice that and doing this sort of thing, you know, while you're sitting. And then that way you can still feel movement in the pelvis as you move your feet, but maybe getting the coordination just right when you're sitting, that might help a lot, okay? But any kind of that type of stuff. And also on the front walking page, I have on the bottom there, I have toe taps. Here's toe taps. A nice way to do that, and I described it on that page, is lying on your back, putting your feet on the wall, 90-degree bend, hip to knee, knee to ankle. But it's just tapping like that. Okay, you can also probably feel your pelvis move if you're upright, sitting on your sit bones, okay, and just slightly forward with the sit bones, remember. So we can work up to 3 minutes. You should definitely feel the anterior tib. Some of you that perhaps have been walking longer and faster, you might start feeling your shins a lot. That will also depend on the shoe, which I will get into on another video, but we want to make sure that we're able to get that heel strike. And if the heel strike is all new to you, you definitely may feel your shins. The other one is sitting and just lifting your heels up, heel, heel, and it's about that cadence as well. So up, down, and I'm trying to roll. I can probably bring my feet back a little bit so my ankles are right underneath my knees, lifting and coming back down. Ideally, you want to try to roll all the way up to the phalanges, to the toes, because remember, we roll off of the big toe when we walk. So those are the toe taps and heel lifts that you see on the very front page of the walking. The other one is I have towel drags. I'll use this TheraBand that I have because I don't have a towel here. Is just putting the towel out like that and just doming your feet and pulling and scrunching and bringing that towel back into you. That really works in the arches of the feet, really works in the tops of the feet. This really helps also, I think, with hammer toes, people that are real tight in their toes. It just allows for you to open and reach, like waving of your foot, okay? You can even push the towel away and go the opposite direction. Feeling that in my arch. There's also windshield wipers. You can lift them up on the outside, roll them in on the inside, out on the in. So you're reaching your little toes to the ceiling and then lifting your big toes to the ceiling. Just to show, you can always, this is great, it's just making space for your toes, taking your TheraBand and or if you have toe separators, it's a great thing. And sitting around, don't walk around in this sort of stuff, but you can see where I have wrap those around my toes. It's like getting a delicious pedicure, you know, when you take off those toe separators. So a couple of them that I wanted to show today is one that's great for that valgus toe, that bunion area, is taking your TheraBand and just wrapping it just inside your big toe and put your foot down. You don't want to pull too hard, but I'm going to actually lift my toe up. And then I'm going to pull my big toe back in, okay? And open out and pull back in. There's actually a piece of Pilates equipment that is a foot and toe strengthener, specifically for this type of foot. And sometimes you gotta hold the little ones down. And that's working right in here. The abductor hallucis is right in here, this tiny little muscle. So with walking, we get very tight in the peroneals, which is the opposing muscle group, wraps underneath that little guy. And so when that outer shin area gets tight, it pulls and creates, unfortunately, this bony landmark, okay? So that's just a nice way to work the feet. Now, a great way to just massage your feet. I like to do it sitting most of the time, so I don't put too much pressure, and just rolling through the foot. I can get pretty specific with this. You can stand and place it just, underneath the first metatarsal, and just stand there, bringing your feet to parallel. And right now I'm able to have both of my legs straight, and I just let the weight stay there. And I'll usually stand there for about 1.5 minutes, depending on how much time I have. And then I can roll it just to the back of the arch. So you're not quite on the heel itself, but just on the front of that arch. And once again, now I'm going to have a bent knee, but just putting pressure there. Again, 1.5 minutes if you have time. Don't worry about it. Then I call this stamping, and you just take around the circumference of your foot and just stamp that tennis ball around and around. You'll find where those spots are that are talking back to you. You can always put it right at the base of the metatarsals at that transverse arch, and just let your toes drape over. Again, this is a really nice one for somebody that has that tendency of clawing their toes. And then we end up with what we call hammer toes. So that's a nice one just to drape the foot over. And then of course, always, rolling the tennis ball all the way through the whole foot, not just the arch. The arch that we know, we can take it to the lateral arch, back through to the medial arch, all the way up to the transverse arch right there at the toes, okay? And then it's always nice to compare, just looking down at my feet, I have more circulation in this right one. I even feel, because I just finished walking, is that this whole side feels like it's more open. So hopefully that will help, okay? Anyway, hope you're all out there enjoying your walking. And I'm going to be posting a few more, and I'm going to do a mat video that I had mentioned that I'll be doing, and it's all gait specific, okay? So enjoy your walks. Bye.